you to all the candidates actually showing political courage. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Nicole Rodriguez, and I am here as a concerned Latina voter, a Floridian, and an active volunteer in the community to talk about integrity and democracy. We cannot speak of one term without involving the other. All democracies need to be conducted with the utmost integrity in order to keep the process intact, fair, and for the people. Integrity is doing the right thing for the right purposes, even when no one is looking. In order to maintain our American democracy, we need to keep those who attempt against it accountable, while at the same time request those in charge of protecting it to never turn a blind eye when it is being violated. We are gathered today because there were many concerns brought up by voters, volunteers, and the majority of candidates that ran a clean campaign before and during the past elections. The concerns were made and filed as complaints with the FDLE and Elections Department, which I have copies and I can provide you. Some of these are similar to last year's complaints involving the same individual doing the same tactics he did during his last run. Because they were not investigated when they initially were made, the incidents repeat themselves all over again in this past election. We are here to defend the democratic process in a bipartisan way today, and we urge the state attorney to appoint a special investigator to avoid any and all conflicts of interest and complete investigations as soon as possible before this next election. There seems to be a pattern of credible violations that need to be looked at, and if ethical or criminal in nature, they need to be processed with the full extent of the law. This maintains the electoral process intact and keeps democracy as it should be, for the people and not for the ones with the most money or the most muscle. The candidates here today that decided to do the right thing, and thank you, Gabriela, and thank you, Bienvenido. Here today that decided to do the right thing will explain their experiences and what they have done about them in bigger detail. Those who didn't come have complained to me personally, but for their best personal interests have decided to turn a blind eye because it is not an expedient political move. The people of Miami should know that we need to restore the confidence of our voters and make things right. Those who stay silent because they are afraid of the majority and political retaliation need to understand as well that this is not about any party or any position. This is about doing what is right to keep our democracy. The system, this democracy that so many covet, they risk everything to flee their countries because of corrupt dictatorships and communism. Doing nothing is basically not an option for any American. Saying nothing, especially if we have an upcoming election in 2020 and these things are unresolved, will keep chipping away at our beautiful democratic government. Let's keep it clean and have these complaints investigated for the sake of the country as we know it. Y ahora lo voy a decir todo en español para las personas que hablan solamente español. Gracias por estar aquí hoy. Gracias a los candidatos que están con nosotros hoy, Miguel Ángel Gabela y Betty Hermida. Buenas tardes a todos, mi nombre es Nicole Rodríguez y estoy aquí presente como votante latina, floridana, voluntaria, activa y demócrata para hablar de integridad y democracia. No podemos hablar de una sin la otra. Todas las democracias necesitan ser conducidas con la mayor integridad posible por respeto al pueblo votante y para mantener el proceso democrático intacto y justo para todos. Tener integridad significa hacer las cosas bien con intenciones correctas según valores morales, inclusive cuando nadie nos ve. Para poder mantener nuestra democracia, necesitamos hacer responsables a aquellos que atentan contra ella y al mismo tiempo pedirle a aquellos encargados en defenderla y protegerla que nunca se hagan los ciegos cuando está siendo violentada. Estamos juntos aquí de manera cooperativa y bipartita porque hubo muchos incidentes preocupantes y alarmantes que fueron traídos a colación por votantes, voluntarios de la comunidad y por la mayoría de los candidatos que corrieron una campaña limpia para las elecciones del pasado martes 5 de noviembre de este año en el Distrito 1. Estas preocupaciones fueron hechas y querelladas por la FDLE y el Departamento de Elecciones como también la policía de la ciudad. Algunas de estas preocupaciones y querellas las cuales implican al mismo individuo llevando a cabo las mismas tácticas que usó en las pasadas elecciones. Por la sencilla razón que no ha sido investigada cuando inicialmente se presentaron estas pasadas elecciones, se vuelve a repetir la misma cosa. No se investigan y no se responsabilizan por posibles violaciones. Así se corroe la democracia, poco a poco dejando pasar cosas aquí y dejando pasar cosas allá. Este es un país de ley y orden, y por eso estamos aquí defendiendo nuestra democracia.
Así es.
Reclamando a la abogada estatal Catherine Fernández Rondo que apunte un investigador individual para evitar cualquier conflicto de interés y que investigue y procese las querellas antes de las próximas elecciones. De haber violentado las leyes electorales o encontrar falta de ética o criminal, que se responsabilicen a las personas con todo el peso de la ley. El hacer esto mantiene nuestro proceso electoral intacto y la democracia se devuelve al pueblo y no a los que tienen otros intereses o el que tiene más músculo. Los candidatos aquí hoy han decidido hacer lo correcto y explicarán sus experiencias y lo que cada cual ha hecho acerca de ellas en más detalle. Aquellos que acordaron a venir hoy y no vinieron última hora porque no les conviene políticamente o no tuvieron la valentía de ser íntegros. El candidato Frank Pichel es el único que está enfermo, pero me dio permiso a hablar sobre su caso. El pueblo de Miami debería estar al tanto de lo que pasa con las elecciones y la corrupción entre los que están en poder y ayudar a ciertos candidatos. Aquellos que guardan silencio lo hacen por temor a represalias políticas o miedo a la mayoría con poder y su dinero. Esto es exactamente la razón por la que nos vamos de nuestros países. Los votantes tienen que saber lo que está ocurriendo y demandar respuestas. Esto se trata de hacerlo íntegro, lo correcto. No quejarse no es una opción. Aceptar las cosas como son porque pues es política en Miami. No es una opción para ningún americano, y aquí todos somos americanos. Necesitamos investigación y que se devuelva la integridad de nuestro proceso democrático a uno íntegro y del pueblo. Y con eso los dejo con mis compatriotas, especialmente Miguel Ángel Abel y Betty Hermida, si tienen preguntas.
Before you go any further, would you name the person who you filed a complaint against? And secondly, would you name the two other candidates whose names were on the press release who did not show up here this afternoon?
Yes, of course. The name of the person who's not here, basically the two candidates that are not here, Areliazar Melendez, that actually asked for to be here. He was going to be here until yesterday, and Frank Pichel, who got sick last minute, but he gave me permission to show all the complaints that he made to the FDLE and the police department. Take pictures, I have videos that he sent me. So I am, if you're interested, I can provide them to you. So those are the candidates that didn't come.
And who is the complaint against?
The complaint is against, as it states here, campaign of Alex Diaz de la Portilla.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Can you reference the particular allegations or violations that some candidates believe have been made?
To speak possibly.
Yes.
Any of you guys want to chime in?
Ladies first.
Well, I can't speak on one regarding one candidate in particular. I can speak about an incident on November 2nd where an elderly 93-year-old lady approached me across the street from the Alapata Library. She was asking me to go inside and please find out who she had voted for. She had no idea who she voted for. And I told her I could not do that because I'm not a candidate. I'm a candidate, so I could not go inside. And I asked her, "Are you sure you don't know who you voted for?" She said, "I have no idea." I asked her, "How did you go inside and vote?" She pointed over to the corner of the library where campaign workers were standing regarding, from various campaigns. And she said, "They took me inside by the hand and they voted for me and they did not tell me who I voted for." To me, that is elderly abuse and that needs to be investigated. Something has to be done. I also, while canvassing, knocked on a gentleman's door in the same apartment complex just weeks earlier. The moment he opened the door, immediately he stated, "What are you going to give me for my vote?" I asked him, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, I've received perfume, I've received boxes of food, I've received cell phones and watches. What are you giving me for my vote?" And I explained to him that was illegal and that all I could give him was at least some peace of mind for the next 4 years. He says he wasn't interested in that if I could not provide him with something at that moment. And so this process, our elections process has become the norm. All you hear is, "Oh, but it's politics." Well, it shouldn't just be politics. Buying people out and going inside and voting for our elderly residents that are vulnerable, this should not be the process. It's not correct, it's unethical, and it's illegal. And something needs to be done, and an investigation needs to be launched. Whoever's been party to this type of practice needs to be investigated.
What was the name of the building that you were in?
It is the 3500 Northwest 19th Avenue building directly across from the Allapattah Branch Library.
And did you get the gentleman's name?
I have the gentleman's name as well as the lady's name that approached.
And are they part of the complaint?
That is not part of that complaint. That is a direct complaint because I don't know exactly which candidate did this. When I knocked on the door, the gentleman did not specifically state one particular candidate, so I believe an investigation needs to be launched across the board. Investigate us, all of that needs to be done, but something has to be done. We cannot continue to have this as part of our normal election process. It's just not correct. It's not ethical. And everyone that's being targeted are the most vulnerable members of our community, and something has to be done. Something has to be done. Thank you.
Mr. Gabella, do you have any specific instances you can speak to?
Yeah, I've got a couple of them, but my name is Miguel Angel Gavila, and I'm running for office, as you may well know. I'm a candidate in the runoff against Mr. De La Portilla. And I'm here because Tuesday last, something happened which I believe couldn't happen in the United States of America. I came from Cuba when I was 5 years old. My mother and father brought me escaping communism, where there's no vote, nothing, absolute regime. Okay, and to my surprise, Tuesday last, I'm in the parking lot of Residential Plaza, 5617 Northwest 7th Street, and somebody at about 12:30 in the afternoon tells me, "Hey, Mr. De La Portilla is inside with several people on his staff campaigning." I then proceeded to the west side of the building. I went inside the building to see if this was true, and sure enough, there was Mr. Portilla campaigning in full sunlight inside a precinct within the 150 feet perimeter. Now, none of the other candidates were allowed to go inside unless you were going to the bathroom. Okay, and this gentleman was in plain sight, pure disregard for the law, campaigning clearly, with his brother Rainier, with another girl that I have a picture of, the girl campaigning, giving out little things that said Alex De La Portilla, number 191, black and white. Okay, there was another gentleman that's acting like his bodyguard. This is the gentleman that the FOP, that according to the newspapers was pretending to be a member of the FOP, and then it was found out that he was illegally doing that. This member is now his bodyguard. I guess he was also there inside the building. And then there was a fifth person that I didn't quite catch his name. This was Tuesday last at about 12:45 p.m. in the afternoon, approximately. And there's going to be an election this coming Tuesday, the 19th. Okay, I'm calling for the authorities, okay, to take notice. I'm calling for the authorities to strengthen our election process because this is eroding democracy. I came from an island, Cuba, that there's still communism, that you have no vote, and I will not allow it, if under my watch, under what I can do, whatever we can do, to allow this to happen. This gentleman is notorious for doing this. This is not the first incident that this has been reported, and nothing is done about it. Okay, I'm calling now the city of Miami mayor, Mayor Suarez. This is your city, and you're talking about democracy. This is happening within your city, and I demand and I ask that the authorities take notice and have in the polling places this coming Tuesday extra officials, so there's a clean election, because we ran a clean election.
Yes.
And this gentleman does not run a clean election, and at some point people of goodwill have to speak out. If Winston Churchill, throughout history, if Winston Churchill would have turned a blind eye, we would have now half of the world would have been speaking German. Okay, but it took courage for Winston Churchill when there was nobody left to continue fighting the Germans and Nazis in World War II. I'm calling on all good people right now to do something about this. Don't let this happen in the city of Miami, because this is eroding our democracy. And in 4 years' time, if this continues, our citizens will not believe in the democracy. So I ask, please, I ask the state attorney's office, I ask whoever can, law enforcement, FDLE, to put extra security in the polling places come now, Tuesday the 19th, and also in the early polling places on 5050 West Flagler and Alapata, where there are also irregularities. And I can share also another story that's similar like Buddy's that happened to me of a voter of mine. I get to his house and I ask him, you know, I'm knocking on his door. He said, Cabela, I already voted for you. And I go, really, you did? Thank you very much. And he says to me, yeah, your girls came. And I go, what girls? I don't have any girls, you know, knocking on my door. Yeah, your girls said they were Cabela. And so how did you vote? Oh, they filled out the absentee ballot for me. And I said to him, so who is this? He said, well, I gave it to her. And I have the gentleman's name. I've been to the state attorney's office. Let me make that clear, because I don't hide from anybody. Okay, I've been to the state attorney's office. Okay, and I ask again, I'm making a calling to do the right thing here. Okay, and protect our integrity, protect our democracy, please, by putting people, extra people, and making sure that our polls, okay, especially in these areas that we spoke about, there's 17 precincts in Alapata, Flagami, Grapeland, and the Blue Lagoon area. Please put extra people, okay? Put extra people and do what you got to do to make the right choice. Thank you very much. The right thing happened.
I'm going to piggyback on something. It's not just putting the right people there just to be present. It's not just having warm bodies. I had poll watchers inside, and until our poll watchers would call to the attention of our elections personnel things that were happening, 2 poll watchers at a time from another campaign, people in and out, until my poll watchers called to their attention what was happening, everyone turned a blind eye. So either our elections personnel needs additional enhanced training, or we're just not hiring the correct people to be part of this process. But for now, I think we need to really jump in, take a look, and research what's been happening, and changes have to occur, and they have to occur soon.
And I want to say one more thing, by the way, if you will allow me to. Right now, as we're speaking, right now, as we're having this news conference, as we stand here today, right now, the ABs, the absentee ballot went out today. The election department mailed it out. Okay? Right now, okay, and during that process that happened last week, the Portilla camp were knocking on elders' door at 10 and 11 o'clock at night, okay, to force them, okay, to have you voted? Who are you going to vote for? Did you vote for us? Did you not vote? I have multiple complaints of voters that have called me that they're scared. That what do I do about it? And I told them, you call the police, or you call me, and I'll call the police. Okay, this is not new. You know, this work that we're talking about here, this has happened before. Okay, and I don't want, I demand further than an investigation. What I want is that this Tuesday, and right now during the AB process, that there's an investigation, that they go out there in the field and stop this from happening again. Not wait till it's over and then investigate. No, right now there's an election next Tuesday. Okay, and I'm a candidate, and I'm saying to you guys, there's people out there that are committing felonies, misdemeanors at this time right now, and I ask, please, okay, so the people believe in us and the people believe in democracy, that you put investigators out there, okay, and that you take this seriously, because so far, what I've seen, nobody's taking this seriously. Thank you.
So are there any other first-person accounts that anybody has witnessed themselves that would like to tell us about them?
Well, I witnessed it myself. And
that's what's important, is to have first-person accounts. Anybody else? Did you witness anything? Any of you all witnessed anything? Anybody got questions? Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So,
No somos testigos de primera
okay.
fila. pero sí somos partícipes de lo que nos cuenta toda la gente. Y yo estoy aquí como voluntaria también. No es mi distrito, pero creo en esta democracia. Y por eso estoy defendiendo los valores del señor Tabela. Porque no es justo y para mí es primordial que si yo voto por un corrupto, yo soy cómplice del corrupto y yo no voy a ser cómplice de la corrupción. Por eso invitamos a que la gente piense bien con quién quieren votar. Con la honestidad que está aquí representada o con la otra parte que es trampas, corrupciones y robos.
¿Puedes hacer una versión corta en español de lo que has dicho para yo poder grabar?
Una versión corta.
Corta, muy cortita, muy cortita. Sí.
El martes pasado, durante la elección del noviembre 5, hubo muchas faltas, hubo irregularidades, o sea, violaron la ley. Yo estaba en un precinto en el 5617 Northwest, 7 calle, Residential Plaza, también conocido. Y me alertaron en el parqueo que el candidato, el señor de la Portilla, estaba haciendo campaña adentro del Residential Plaza en pleno día a las 12 y pico de la tarde. Yo procedí para entrar por la entrada del oeste y entré y sí me encontré el candidato de la Portilla haciendo campaña en pura violación de la ley del estado de la Florida y el estado. Habían 5 personas adentro del precinto. Él, un señor que tengo entendido que fue despedido de la policía, que está actuando como un bodyguard, el hermano de Renier y otra muchacha estaba dando unos papelitos que decía de la Portilla 191 y otra persona más que no sé quién es, pero era claramente del candidato, estaban trabajando para el candidato. Yo les dije que estaban violando la ley, que tenían que ir para afuera, y eso fue lo que pasó. Y yo hago un llamado a las autoridades, al State Attorney's Office, que por favor investiguen, porque ahora yo estoy en el runoff que viene ahora de martes, noviembre 19, que hay la segunda vuelta de la contienda entre De La Portilla y yo, Miguel Ángel Tabela. Y yo no quiero que esto vuelva a pasar otra vez, porque siempre se pasan las cosas y después hay una investigación. No, yo no quiero que pasen las cosas y que haya una investigación. Yo quiero que se tomen asuntos y cartas en este asunto ahora. Y le estoy pidiendo, haciendo un llamado al gobierno, al condado, al alcalde de la ciudad de Miami, okay, que pongan y que hagan correctamente, que pongan en los precintos, en las urnas donde se votan, personas que haya seguridad para que esto no vuelva a cometer, porque este señor es notorious por hacer esta no es la primera vez que esto se reporta y sigue pasando otra vez y otra vez y otra vez. Ahora mismo, cuando estamos en esta misma conferencia de prensa, mientras que estamos hablando, la boleta ausente está llegando a los viejitos, a las personas mayores, ¿okay? Y esta fue otra parte de la ley que se violó, tocándolos a viejitos y a personas mayores sin tener permiso de estar en edificios a las 10 y a las 11 de la noche